let's start. So today is the number 6 sessions. I will talk about airworthiness of aircraft, and I'm from this group of engineering and management risk research. I have explained about the group earlier, and is a group member. Then let's talk direct to the topic. We talk about aircraft, we talk about airworthiness of aircraft, and we try to define what is aircraft first. So aircraft is defined as in the Malaysian Civil Aviation Regulation 2016. In the schedule, it explains what is aircraft. We can see aircraft, there are two categories: lighter than air and heavier than air. And lighter than air, we have power, non-powered. Similarly, with heavier than air is powered and non-powered. We are more focused on the powered driven, which is on aeroplane and rotorcraft. So that is our business here. And however, we also do have in Malaysia our colleague flying hot air balloons. So they are in the category of lighter than air and non-powered. Many years ago, we also do have airship. So we have lighter than air, power driven, which is airship. And while I was during my DCA time, when I was about to retire, there's also a company bringing a hot air airship. So hot air airship is lighter than air, power driven. So this is about aircraft. So this aircraft definition is defined in the law. It is in Malaysian Civil Aviation Regulations. So why we talk about this airworthiness? Most of the discussion tonight will be talking about the basic fundamental of the understanding on airworthiness. So why? Because we have to ratify an international treaty, which is the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. It was formed in 1944, and we were not a state yet at that time. We were under the British, and we also at the time we are invaded by the Japanese. So we only become a member after we got the independence in 1957, and we become member in 1958. It was May 7, 1958. So as a member state, we have to ratify all the articles in the conventions. So this is the look of the first page of the articles. This is the first version, first original articles, convention article, which you can Google from the web, and then you can find this is original, and it's written there. There's the 7 days of December 1944 in Chicago. At that time, they have a meeting, they have agreed on certain things, and the agreement is written in the term of articles. So one of it is Article 31. Article 31 talk about certificate of airworthiness. Every aircraft engaged in international navigation shall be provided with a certificate of airworthiness, issued or rendered valid by the state in which it is registered. So it means that all the contracting state, all the member states shall follow this. They shall have certificate of airworthiness for the aircraft registered by the state. And also we go to Article 33. Article 33 talk about recognition of certificate of recognition of certificate and license. And the first sentence there, the certificate of airworthiness and certificate of competency. So still they talk about certificate of airworthiness, and the second term they recognize as valid. So any aircraft having the certificate of airworthiness, we should recognize it as a valid. So that's why we do not question any aircraft coming in if they declare they have the ICAO Annex 8 certificate of airworthiness. So there is a treaty, and the treaty has stated that any state shall recognize the certificate of airworthiness issued by other state. Then we go to, and then the article is basic policy. You read the sentence there, is something that you cannot work on. It's just a policy. You must have something, you should have done this, blah blah blah. So the detail will be in more comprehensive document, which ICAO published 19th document. They call this as standard and recommended practices. If you see the words letter SARPS, those are standard and recommended practices, and there are 19 annexes published as standard and recommended practices by the International Civil Aviation Organization. So you can see from there are number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 19. Our interest is on Annex 8. Annex 8 is airworthiness of aircraft. Then we need to go and define what is airworthiness, what is airworthy. This definition here is in the ICAO Annex 8. I've just shown you ICAO Annex 8, and then this is the terminology. You can find it in the definition of terminologies in the ICAO Annex 8. And what is airworthiness? So airworthiness is the status of aircraft engine, propeller or part when it conforms to its first word is approved design and is in condition for safe operation. There are two words there. There are two keywords there: approved design and in condition for safe operations. So mean that if you don't have approved design, then that mean that the aircraft is not qualified to have a certificate of airworthiness. The second term here is condition for safe operation. This is subjective to your operation. So the content of Annex 8, you can see here, this is the what is the contents of Annex 8. There are parts. There are parts 1 till part 7. Okay, part 1 is more on definition. Definition of airworthiness is in part 1. Part 2 is procedure for certification and continuing airworthiness. So this part will have a requirement for the type certificate, production certificate, certificate of airworthiness, and the continuing airworthiness of the aircraft. So part 3, 3A, 3B, 4, 4A, 4B, and 5, 6, and 7, those are technical requirement. So these are the basis of the airworthiness requirement, or in our Malaysian Civil Aviation Regulation, as I shown you earlier, that is Regulation 25 Airworthiness Code. So these are the basis: part 3, 3A, 3B, 4, 4A, 4B, 5, 6, and 7. We will go through this later in the next sessions. So they call this as technical requirements, and this technical requirement will be the basis of the certification requirement or airworthiness requirement of aircraft, which you are very familiar. From EASA they call it CS, and from US they call it FAR. For example, if you take part 3 is CS25, large aeroplane. In Europe and in the US is FAR part 25, large aircraft. So those are the content of the Annex 8. Then if you want to look at more refinement, you look at more detail of the Annex 8 content, you can see there part 1 definition, part 2 procedure for certification in continuing airworthiness, and there are also chapter on procedures for certification in continuing airworthiness. Then you can go to the next part, large aeroplane. Large aeroplane technical requirement is part 3, part 3A and part 3B. Aeroplane more than 5.7, they call large aeroplane. There are date there, date before 2 March 2004 and after March 2004. So the certain changes in the requirement on date. For example, you talk about the blast proof cabin cockpit door, so that is a new requirement. We put it in part 3, I believe. Now we have helicopters. Helicopters is part 4, part 4A and part 4B. So there is also date there, before and after 2007. And we have small aeroplane over 750 kg but not exceeding 5,700 kg. So the technical requirement will be in the ICAO Annex 8 part 5. So this is for small aeroplane. Anything below 750 kg is no technical requirement in the ICAO Annex 8, and anything below 750 kg they will not qualify for a standard certificate of airworthiness. It will be qualified as restricted category, restricted type certificate and special category certificate of airworthiness. And for aircraft below 750, we can negotiate with authority on what will be the airworthiness requirement for the certifications. And then you go to part 4, which is propellers, engines. Part 6, engine. Part 7, propellers. And this is the pages. You can see I show you this is the Annex 8 on the left, and also